as they go onto the straight. Is he going to make it though? Into the hairpin as he goes right into that. He will make it stick as they now go into the first corner. Alex going back down the inside of Jacob into turn 2. This going into the next right and just past the stricken Aston Martin as Alex is making overtake again from the straight, and he does as well. He goes left into that. Alex with the switchback of dreams, and he's made it work too. Jacob 2 places behind him, now on the run up to him now, trying to make the overtake, and he has made it. Jacob, wow! And they now go down off the bridge. Jacob gets back in front onto the straight. Lights out, away we go here at the British Grand Prix at the Laysan International Airport Circuit as Indians running down to turn 1. We have Jacob taking the lead in front of Alex as they're now running down to turn 2. Here we have Alex overtaking Jacob going into turn 2, and he makes it happen as well. That's Alex in front of Jacob here in front of turn 3. Maybe turn 4 that is. They're inside of each other. Jacob's going to have to run on him going into the next corner. Alex is going to try and make the move literally up the inside, going into the DRS straight. Who will have DRS here? As Jacob's going to try and make the move now going up the straight, and he does as well. Hello everybody and welcome to the French Grand Prix here on the French Riviera here in Caen. We're going to get the light sequence underway right now actually as we watch our drivers line up here for 10 laps around France. It's 2, 3, 4. It's 5 red lights and it's lights out and away we go here in Caen today for the French Grand Prix here. Jacob gets a good start. Alex in front though in the racing point. Going down to the first corner. Alex getting ahead. It is very laggy with everyone there. Jacob still ahead of him though. Alex getting the run down to the next corner though as he's going through rather well. Alex has hit the wall. Alex has hit the wall. Jacob has an advantage now as Alex has lost a lot of time. Jacob now right in front of Alex going into the first hairpin now. Alex just behind him there. Jacob using the soft right now as the track orders 10%, and he really needs this point if he wants to stay in contention for the title at this point. And Alex has hit the wall again. He is really not doing very well on those tyres as he's currently using the mediums there as we can see, and Jacob on the softs there on this 10-lap race as he now goes through the next corner here. It's about a 1 minute lap time. You can get sub 1 minute quite easily when it's fully dry. So we're going to be expecting some sub-minute lap times here today of around 55 seconds as Jacob leads going into the second lap. And you can see Alex chasing close behind there as Jacob almost hits the wall. He comes close, but he doesn't hit it. As we now ride on board with Alex as they come through the chicane, and Jacob's in the wall. Jacob has crushed into the tyre barrier, and his wheel has come off. And that gives Alex a huge advantage here in the wet. And Jacob's lost his front wing as well. And he lost one of his tyres, and he's going to have to get that repaired. As Alex now still in the lead of this race. We don't know what's happening to Jacob right now, and I don't think he's going to be continuing, if I'm correct here. As Alex still in the lead right now in that Racing Point car, as Jacob still in his stricken Williams as the weather turns dry, and Alex is slowing down, being very sportsmanlike to Jacob, who's still stopped. As they're now getting on the power then, coming into the few last corners. Jacob has left the race. And Alex is coming into the pits for softs. Hello and welcome back to the race. We had to red flag the race previously because there was a car stopped on track for extended periods of time. So now we're going to be getting this restart underway. I don't know what Jacob's doing, but he's driving on for some reason. I expect he'll be reversing into his grid slot. Never mind, he's resetting. We will have Jacob spawned in on pole today, as he was in pole. He was winning the race, sorry, when we red flagged the session. So we're going to be restarting with Jacob in pole and Alex in second place, starting from lap 2. And by the time we finish, the other race should have started. So we have 8 laps to play for. It's going to be a race down to the wire. As we're getting all frolicky. Right, everyone on their grid slot here in France as we count down. And it's lights out. Away we go here at the French Grand Prix here in Caen. As we get it going now, Alex in first place right now, as expected, as he did the countdown. Jacob made the overtake there, still in front here, going into the chicane, as we're now going to be riding with Jacob then, coming into here. They both get out of it quite unscathed. Jacob going into the next corner, following the Red Bull there. Alex also just behind. There will be no DRS on this circuit because it is so small. Only a 50-second lap time, but Jacob's hit the wall. Jacob hit the wall, and he's gone off. But we're fine, and Alex has, Jacob has lost the front wing there, and Jacob's lost the front wing and he's in the wall. Jacob's in the wall. Jacob's lost his front wing and he's in the wall, and Alex is in the lead right now after a very eventful first lap. Jacob lost his front wing there when he slammed into the wall on that right-hander, which really shouldn't be happening on that corner, as Alex is coming into the pits on lap 3, which I've got to write down because of what happened last race, as the drivers didn't count the laps properly. Now going on to lap 3 of this race in a second. Jacob in the pits too, Alex in the pits. Now they're coming out of each other as they're going out of the pits then, starting their third lap with 3 minutes to go, 7 laps to play for. And another red flag to have to happen as we now get Alex going through the first 2 corners. Jacob coming through the first 2 corners as well. And Jacob's come out of that really wiggly, as he's had to squirm to make sure that he doesn't lose the front wing there. He's done quite well though to make sure that he doesn't lose it. Jacob then onto the mini straight. Alex at the end of it now, following the Aerox then. As we now go with Jacob then, who's nowhere to be seen. And now he is somewhere to be seen as we now go with Alex again. Here, you really do not want to miss the action because it comes quite often as well. As Alex now going into the hairpin, Jacob following suit close behind as we now watch him there. And Alex now coming past the brick wall to start his 4th lap of the race, which we've got to get written down. And it's now lap 4, 2 minutes and 20 seconds until race red flag. As we now watch Jacob then rounding the first 2 corners, right on board with Alex. Everyone's still got their front wing on, which is quite impressive now in this track. Jacob then, the Aerox in the background has slammed into the wall there at high speeds. Alex still okay, they're going through the wall there. Jacob still fine as well, also going through the wall by the harbour then, going through what would usually be, I don't know. And we're riding back with Alex then, going down the back straight, going right then into the hairpin as Jacob now going through that corner too, gaining a little bit as we watch Alex then out of the hairpin. Jacob there, you can see at the bottom of the screen, going by the brick wall now onto the main straight to start his 5th lap of the race, which we get marched down there. And we're now right on board with Alex into the first 2 corners. Also going right on board with him into the 3rd and 4th corner, just so you can see how hard it really is for them to take. Alex spun on the exit there. He is spun, and this is a huge advantage for Jacob then, who's now running by, and he's also crashed. Oh, they both hit the wall here. Jacob had to wait 5 seconds because of that. Alex turning around and getting away from them. Jacob really should have capitalised on that as they both slam into the wall. Jacob then, a few seconds back. I think he doesn't have a front wing on. Alex does have a front wing on. Jacob does have a front wing on too. So they're both fine. They may be going into the pits though. The race is going to be starting in 45 seconds officially. So we're going to have to red flag this as they cross the line for their 6th lap. I must say, as Alex is now spun in the wall. Everything is happening here. As Jacob, as we can see, is in the lead of this race. And this red flag session may come into great handy for Jacob here. This is Wow, this is scenes. As Jacob crosses the line to start his 6th lap, as Alex also starts his 6th lap. And now we're going to be red flagging the race because of the other race that just started. So I've got to now alert the drivers that there's a red flag going on. And I'll see you in a second. And we are back in Cone today for the race restart, starting from lap 6 as it's 5 red lights and it's lights out and away we go here on the run down to turn 1 and 2. We see Jacob there getting a very good start. Alex a decently slow one there, bad reaction time from him. Jacob then in the lead going down into turn 2 here as we're not going to ride on board with him because it is quite hard going through this corner as we have seen in the past. Jacob gets through with no difficulties. Alex also did fine. The Linguini there in the background has crashed out. Alex then chasing Jacob going into the next couple of corners. Alex makes the overtake there. And has he made his stick? No, he hasn't. Jacob's still ahead of him going into the next corner. Now onto the mini straight. Alex using all of his ERS to catch up. Going in and Alex has made the overtake on Jacob. Jacob's going to try and get past though as we've got to regain our breath there after that as that was a few crazy seconds there as Jacob goes back on Alex and made the overtake. Alex is in the second place in this race. Jacob is in the lead as they go into the hairpin now. Alex making the overtake there. Didn't work though. Jacob's still in the lead there as we're about to go on to lap 7 here going past the final straight now. Both of them using ERS. Alex using slipstream as we now go on to lap 7 here. As Alex has made the move on the first corner, Jacob has actually got the lead back. This is a brilliant racing from them. As we now go into the chicane, Alex taking the better line, Jacob getting the better exit though. And Alex is now in the lead of this race. Alex overtook Jacob going into the chicane. A bold move and Jacob's gone back in front. But Alex has got the cut back and into the lead. As Jacob is now frantically chasing him as we have a Valor there stuck out of the track, I believe that is. As Jacob closing down on him by a couple of tenths a lap. Both of them deploying as much ERS as they can. Jacob got the slipstream and he's hit the wall, but he's fine now. He's not lost any traction whatsoever. Alex going into the hairpin there. Jacob's going to have to hope big time that Alex makes a mistake and that he doesn't, as Alex then finishes his 7th lap here and now goes on to lap number 8 of this race. As Alex now looks to be in the lead going into the chicane. Jacob having to slow down a lot there. Alex in the lead and it seems like he's getting away from Jacob as Jacob had to slow down tons going into the chicane as he's now rounding the brick corner going by Portier now. Going almost into the wall trying to warm up those tyres it looks like. And he's in the wall now and that would have lost him a boatload of time. As now Jacob's deploying the ERS, Alex is swerving here. Going into the right-hander, slowing down quite a lot for that. As it's now raining and it's wet weather conditions as we can see in the top right. Both of them losing traction now. Going on to the 9th lap of the race. This is quite truly amazing. As we now go by the start-finish straight. Jacob will pip him to the line to start lap 9. Which rhymes as Alex makes the overtake again going into turn 2. Jacob trying to catch up using ERS and all of his might. Jacob though, Alex has a little bit of tyre squeal there going out of the corner. He squirmed a little bit because of the amount of rain. They're going to have to pit in this lap for either some wets or some intermediates. Now this is where strategy really comes into play as Jacob slides out of that corner going through Portier now. Alex is in the lead so far, but anything can change with these weather conditions. And now it comes down to who is a better driver as Jacob using the walls to his advantage there to get in front. And he's now in the lead of this race and they have to be very cautious now as Jacob goes into the wall. Alex is fine, he's gained a lot of time over for that. And now both of them are going to have to pit on this lap. Whoever gets into the pit first will leave the pit first as Alex then losing a crap load of time going out of the hairpin there as there's the air rock just behind. They're both going very slowly. They're both choosing to stay out, which is quite interesting as they're both currently on slick tyres. So this will be a very interesting race finish there going into turn 2. They're both going very deep there. Jacob regaining the lead as we go on to the final lap of the race. Alex has gone off. He's lost his tyre and his front wing. That was such a delayed reaction there, because I was writing down the 10th lap of the race and Jacobs hit the wall. This is how intense these conditions are getting on the final lap of the race, as Jacob has hit the wall on the exit of the brick wall corner, going through Portier now. They are not going so fast anymore, are they? As Alex now going out of that hairpin, as Jacob is still in the lead of this race, going very slowly down the straight, slowing down for Alex it seems, as Alex has also now lost control of his car again and he spun it down the straight. As Jacob now going through the next course, still slowing down for Alex it seems, or just trying to find some level of grip in this really bad weather. As Alex now is on the hunt for Jacob, 7 seconds behind, both of them driving really carefully as to not spin. Alex then going on the hunt for Jacob there, as they're both going really slowly into this corner. Jacob and Alex are both coasting what seems to be into the wall. Jacob then, can he score his first ever win in Driver Wars? We're going to have to wait and see, as Alex has got no front wing. Jacob has surely won this now, unless Alex can pull something out the bag, as he's using everything he can to get in front of Jacob. And it's now a sprint to the line. Jacob versus Alex. Let's see who's got the other to the line. As they both spot it, Alex has won the French Grand Prix here on the Riviera. Somehow, without a front wing, spinning across the line. That's the most unique finish you're ever going to see.